Very good morning. Goeiemorgen, anybody online. It is just on 10 o'clock. Baie goeiemorgen, dit is Vrydag, die 23ste en dit is so 10 uur. My nuwe tyd slot wat hulle vir my gegee het. I hope that I'm just going to give a couple of minutes for people to come on board. I thought Fridays, according to myself and the SG Jark, Cherise, good morning. We thought that we will move the Wednesday 9 o'clock because it's midweek, although it was my time slot for so long, that we will move it to try and see what response we get on a Friday at 10 o'clock, because then most of the people are settled. The week is over and I can give a good week review. So ons het maar besluit om Woensdag af te skryf tot Vrydag toe. Maar ek wil daarom goeiemôre sê aan Joanne, Peter, Louise, Dorothy, good morning. I am about to experience what you have been experiencing, which is load shedding, which I'm talking about today, but specifically about Eskom and the pathetic scenario. So I hope that when load shedding kicks on, that I will still have a signal. We are trying this. Unfortunately, we don't control this country anymore. But we can make a plan and we can make sure that we are okay as what we can. Goeiemôre Estelle, Michai, Grieser, good morning. En Yvonne, Chris, ons gaan so wag vir 200 mense. Ons is nou op 121 and then as we hit 200, I can start talking about health, crime, the governing party and the cabal, Eskom, and municipalities. And that's what I want to talk about today. So those topics I'm just going to touch because they've been highlighted in our life and in our week. And I think as the UIM, we are focusing on the thing that we promised, and that is accountability. Ons het vir u beloof van die begin af, dat al is ons 'n klein party, dat ons gaan rekenskap gee, en hierdie politieke partye wat al vir 20, 30 jaar nonsens praat en net in sitplekke sit, dat ons hulle verantwoordelik gaan hou. En ek is baie gelukkig dat ons sukses daarmee het. A very good morning, Rosalie, Alida. We are at 160 at the moment, climbing. The minute that we can hit 200, if you can share this, if you can let other people know, we will get used to the Friday 10 o'clock slot from now on, and we will commit to be on it every Friday at 10 o'clock to look at the week that was, and at some very important issues that we need to touch. Ons gaan 10 uur elke Vrydag van nou af hier by jou wees. Ek is by julle in die kar, in die sitkamer, in die kombuis, by die kantoor. Maar dit is nou ons nuwe slot vir die Neil de Beer halfuurtjie of so wat ons kan praat, sin kan praat en waar ons sin kan maak uit 'n verskriklike de mekaar spul in hierdie land. We are going to try and put things into context, and we are going to try and bring some credibility to understanding, and that's important to us. Dit is baie belangrik vir ons. It doesn't just help that we sit on social media, and that's what I want to discuss today. Is it's great to have this platform for information, but what are we doing about it? So ons gaan 'n bietjie daaroor praat. Ons is so 8 mense weg. Rosalind, goeiemôre. Janice, Amanda, Mohammed, assalamu alaikum. Mohammed Gal, very nice. Thank you for joining me. Moira, goeiemôre. Rex, very good morning and God bless you. Same from my side. Ethel, ja, dit laat my fuse. Jan Vermaak, good morning. Good to see you. Moveronique, Abrams, Joanne. There we are. That didn't take us long to get to 200, and I'm going to start before load shedding and the day kills us. So I'm going to keep my sessions brief. I'm going to keep them to the point so that you can ponder about it and that we can then for the week mull around and understand. Number one, I want to talk about Eskom. I've called it Esgaan, né? Daar's niks wat kom nie. What a absolute pathetic rendering from a spineless leader like our so-called president, who tells the country and forgets that he has previously committed that there would be no load shedding and that he would fix this. 'n Pateet van 'n ruggraatlose president rits die hele wêreld rond in Amerika, gaan kyk hoe die koningin begrawe word en verklaar dan dat hy moet onmiddellik terugvlieg na die begrafnis, waar niemand hom eintlik herken het nie. En dan kom hy terug Suid-Afrika toe op ons petrol, op ons koste, en wat kom doen hy? Nee, hy kom nie na Eskom en sit die krag aan nie. Hy kom nie in Eskom vlieg direk na Kilowatt Park of wat hulle die ding noem, en klim by die ruiter in en klim in en sê, hoe gaan ons nou finaal die ding uitsorteer, want die land is besig om in sy moeren te gaan nie. No, he doesn't fly back land and take his 360,000 cars with lights and goes directly to Megawatt Park, meets with the writer, the CEO, and finds out how he can do this. Because in load shedding, they've now decided to do this. En hulle is op tyd, hoor. No, he doesn't do that. He doesn't come up with an ingenious ideology of how we are going to get power generation going. No. He has a Zoom call. Hy gaan sit op 'n computer Zoom. Hy, Frikkie Frats en Jannie. The most pathetic four-man trio sitting around the table, a picture was shown, all of them looking at the computer, talking to who the hell? You have Gwede Mantashe, our so-called Minister of Energy, that can't see past his stomach to his kneecaps. Okay? Because hy het soveel gevreet. Nie kos nie. Ons tenders, so sê Zondo. Nou, daai man Gwede Mantashe, as jy hom nou na krag toe moet skuif, if you had to take Gwede's IQ to the complementary side of watts, megawatts, okay? Gwede Mantashe's IQ is related to a mini-watt, okay? And a mini-watt is 5 candle proof. Hy het die IK van 5 kerse, mini-watt. That's what he's got. Want hy het nie 'n idee nie. Gwede Mantashe was a unionist. Hy kom van die Unie af, nie Unie, die Unie. He was a unionist, man. He was with the mine workers union like Cyril started. They communists. They socialists. They unionists that now happen to be top-notch. Now that's not top-notch, that's mini-watts. So with the total people that were sitting in that room, Pravan Gordon, chemist, unionist, and a teacher. Yeah. Those were the 4 top people sitting in a room, and those are their qualifications. Not that I've got any qualifications except being a believer of God. Met die gesamentlike IK het hulle seker 20 kerse mini-watts gehad in daai kamer. Almal sit op 'n komputer en hulle is in hierdie land besig om met load shedding te deel oor Zoom. What the hell? Now, and here's another thing. I don't know if you know this, but Eskom came out and said there was an accident with a generator replacement to Koeberg nuclear plant. They dropped it. Did you hear me, South Africa? No one's talking about it. Hulle het 'n nuwe vervangingsstuk vir Kuiberg kernkrag het hulle gebring om in te sit en toe het een of ander miniwatt, dit laat val. They dropped the nuclear power stations path replacement. Dis 'n feit. Hoe dit donder laat jy so 'n ding val? Wel, dit is dieselfde ideologie en dieselfde idioote wat 'n submarine, 'n duikboot in Simonstad in 'n wal of in 'n muur vasgerewers het. Jy kan nie 'n bloody boek skryf oor hierdie nie, want dit is te veel. Dit is erger as 'n trilogy van Lord of the Rings. Nou Suid-Afrika, ons sit hierso, en wat my die hartsteerste maak, is nie die ideologie om nog kernkrag, nog load shedding te beklei nie. Weet jy wat maak my die hartsteerste as 'n leier in die land? Ons is besig om dit te aanvaar. What makes me the saddest at this current moment in time is that South Africa is busy adopting and adapting to load shedding Schedule 6. Ons sit in 'n koffiewinkel, ons sit by 'n braai, ons sit by ons kantoor, ons praat met ons pelle, ons praat met ons familie, en as ons praat oor Eskom, as ons praat oor load shedding, het ons dit 'n grap begin maak. So Suid-Afrikaners met alles probeer deel. Ons sit komedie daarby. We are putting comedy to deal with it. But in my opinion, this is not funny. Dit is nie snaaks nie. Want besighede is besig om moer toe te gaan. Dan gebruik hy woord. Goeie Suid-Afrikaanse woord. Businesses are busy dying. How a small business, a small restaurant, a small hair salon, a small nail place, a biltong shop, a cafe around the corner, how are you surviving? And you know what is the worst? There's no relief. COVID. Billions and billions. Almal moet gespuit word. Almal moet gewaks word. Nou skryf hulle honderde miljoene se vaksin af. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable, South Africa. Mothers that must feed their child before going to school, but you've got load shedding between 6 and 8. How do you do it? Well, you know what? Our children, like they were forced to wear masks, our children are now being heard the word Eskom. Eskom. Ons kinders is besig om gesensiseer te word, to be sensitized. Eskom. Die kinders begin nou sê, Eskom. Here's a question. Nou dat ons moedig is, we are packing ourselves, and I think a lot of the stuff on Facebook and a lot of the things that we do on social media is to pack off, is om af te pak. It's just to verbally. But South Africa, we can't stay at social media. There is no grant package, there is no subsidy, there is nothing to help us through load shedding. The government hasn't even thought of an emergency electrical fund to subsidize small businesses, to see if they can get power generators or generation to yourself. There's no bulk imports by government of 6,000 generators to assist businesses. No, the only import and export is the people's idiocracy and the stealing that's going on. I heard of a friend yesterday who runs a hotel that burns 8,000 rands worth of diesel every load shedding. Quantify it, load shedding phase 6, he's burning more than 32,000 rand a day, even if he's just got one customer. South Africa, we are being led by a naive incompetent and non-vision leadership in this country. And all I can pray is that with the UIM in its fight for the next 18 months, you will realize that we as the UIM don't want to continue speaking on social media. We want to be on the ground. Ons sal op die grond wees. Load shedding is with us. And until Eskom does not replace its incompetent staff with retired or available competent staff, no matter the race in this country, we will be in the dark, and that's our future, and it's unacceptable. Number two, the state of our hospitals in this country. And now I'm talking about experience for 5 months I've been through. Is shocking. And I'm sorry to tell you, even now at private hospital level, we've just become a number. I know what I'm talking about. Now, if it's that bad at a private hospital level, God knows, and He does, what is the incompetent, nearby criminal level of disservice at government state hospitals. And the fact of the matter is that people are dying. Suid-Afrika, ons totale gesondheidsdepartement is moord toe. Hy het uit mekaar uitgeval. En dit is nou besig om 'n effek te hê op private hospitalisering in hierdie land. Ons het nie meer nurse nie. Ons het nie meer susters nie. En ons dokters hardloop weg, maar ons bring nie bane. Ons het aan die begin gesê, as daar probleme is by 'n hospitaal en ons is naby, sê vir ons, let us know. I know that one of our great staff members, one of our great volunteers, one of our great peoples, Melissa Smith, has been fighting battles with hospitals, because I made a statement that at one point I visited a state hospital where someone complained and I wreaked havoc. The other day I got called to say that Pretoria West does not pick up their telephone and that there was an incident. So I phoned the Ministry of Health. I won't let it go. We are dying. People are suffering. And they're suffering in an area where people should have cared. And there is absolutely, I'm sorry, a total collapse of care. Now, I want to give a shout out to those nurses, those sisters, those doctors, and everybody that is still in the fight. And they are. I know it because I saw it. Ek wil eer betoon aan die verpleegsters, die susters, die dokters en al die mense wat nog steeds daarso sit en beklei. Ek is baie dankbaar julle is. Maar vir daai wat slapgat is en wat net besluit het dat geneeskunde is 'n werk, dit is nie. Dit is 'n roeping. Dit is soos onderwys. In my dae, as jy 'n polisieman, as jy in verpleging en as jy in staatsonderwerp gegaan het, het jy dit gedoen omdat jy dit gesien het as 'n roeping. Want jy gaan nie geld maak nie. Wel, vandag is dit anders. Baie van hierdie staatsamptenare het gegaan want hulle dink dit is tenders. Suid-Afrika, ons moet nie moeg raak nie. But if you've got a complaint, if we can help you, if we're close, I'm not saying we can, I'm going to start focusing on visiting hospitals where there are problems and addressing it, even if I write massively focused and attacking emails. But we are not going to leave the hospitals of this country to also disintegrate, because that is the boundary between life and death. So it is very near to me, and I'm going to start opening my eyes, and the UIM, in the areas that we are going to start looking, and we are going to start acting. We are not just going to sit here and talk on Facebook. Then we want to talk about municipalities. In the last local government election, the UIM under zero budget and in such little time achieved 3 seats in Ekurhuleni, in eThekwini, Johannesburg and Cape Town, and we're here. I want to believe we are making a difference. Ek wil glo dat my werk, nou Fatima se werk en jy, dat ons iets bydra en ons beloftes nog steeds onderhou. Ek weet in die laaste verkiesing vir munisipaliteite kon ons nie by elke munisipaliteit iemand kry nie. Maar in 2024 is dit anders. Ons sal op al die ballette wees. We'll be on all the ballots. In every single town you will see the UIM. And now I want to talk about the ANC and the UIM and EFF, FANC, the new party, they've just not declared it. What's the difference between the UIM and FANC? And all the other parties, if you want to put it that way. We normal people. We actors, bankers, financiers, security personnel, law, people from the legal fraternity, people from construction. We you. Nie een van hierdie ander politieke partye se mense kom uit die grond uit nie. Met ander woorde, kom uit stof. Koffiewinkel eienaars, prokureurs, nie een van hulle nie. Ek het my eie besighede gehad, ek weet wat is dit om 'n besigheid te bou, om 'n besigheid te bestuur en om 'n besigheid te verloor en om hom weer oor te bou. Ek weet, jy weet. Dis ons maas man. That's the difference. The people in other political parties that have been in parliament since 1994, and trust me, they are career politicians. They're not workers. We come from you. We are the People's Party men. Look at our people. We are all people. We were your neighbor and now we're fighting politics because we've decided that the only way to actually have say in this country is to be a politician, but to be a person. So we're asking you to support us. Because if you do that, we can fight the ANC and we can fight the EFF like I'm doing now. But if you don't put us into government, the UIM ideology of fighting crime, corruption, defending the Constitution, standing with Christ, and defending your capital, I can't do it with my people. So we are asking you, get ready for a voting revolution. And I'm telling you now, it's my opinion that with this Eskom failure, it's hurting the lowest of the low, and they starting to wake up. We've got to give that push. We've got to get up and get it done. Finally, crime. Every day we are making speeches about Bheki Cele. Every day we are complaining about the heightening of crime. Crime is here to stay, and I can tell you right now, it's going to escalate. Misdaad gaan nie kleiner raak nie. Sekuriteitsmaatskappye gaan meer raak, ons mure gaan hoër raak, ons gaan meer probleme hê op die straat. Ek wil vir u sê dat my oplossing is om seker te maak dat daar genoeg neighborhood watcher is, dat die gemeenskap uitkom en hulle self begin verdedig. Die polisie is nie meer daar nie. En vir daai ongelooflike ware helde, those true legends of law enforcement, believe it or not, SAPS, the good cops, Metro Police, law enforcement, traffic, and add the other uniformed members, the peoples in the fire brigade and ambulance services and EMS. This is a special Friday, thank you. Hearts, I'm asking just quickly, at the bottom, press a heart. Press a thumbs up. Flood the screen quickly for those people. Especially the families that say good night and good morning to their officers, their son. Look at that. Yeah, South Africa, we can stand together. To the police, the defense force that's left, we'd like to thank you from the bottom of our heart. Don't give up. The fight is with you. Finally, South Africa, I just want to end off by saying, every single week, we are not on Facebook, but we are fighting. Your donations, your help, your emails, your words of support is appreciated. Ons waardeer elke dag, elke liewe minuut wat u vir ons doen. Die stryd wat ons het is groot. Die stryd wat ons het om mense wat soos byvoorbeeld in Mitchells Plain altyd net afgeskryf word. Die mense in Belhar, Ocean View, Delft, in die Kaap kan ek praat. Ons is by julle. Ons gaan julle nie los nie. Ons kan miskien nie groot goed doen nie, maar die UIM maak nie beloftes wat ons nie kan hou nie. En as ons dit nie kan hou nie, dan kan ons daarom ten minste op 'n publieke blad kom en sê ons is jammer. We made a mistake, we couldn't do this, because we need to be accountable. Ek wil vir julle almal sê, baie goeie week. Die bokke speel hierdie naweek, mag hulle daai ronde goed maak en daai Argentyne goed moer. Laat ons daarom daai stukkie lig op ons kan hê. Waardeer julle. Kom ons kyk na daai munisipaliteite om ons klagtes deur te kry en saam te staan, maar in 2024 neek ons vir hulle. Julle soek nie iemand wat net kan praat nie, julle soek iemand wat vreesloos is. Hierdie mense wat nou deesdae praat op sosiale media, the people that go on social media and declare themselves as leaders. You've got to rise. Leierskap, waar ek sit, because I was elected, is not easy, but it is a blessing. It is a privilege to wake up and go to council. It's a privilege to lead this party. And to have myself surrounded by such an effective NEC and such an effective top head office movement and a vice president, Fatima, that I am so proud of. A secretary general that doesn't stop working, Jacques Talliard, who's a miracle. People like Cindy, Stephen, Melissa, Marilise, Monya, and Diane. The minute that you start mentioning names, you get into trouble because you are Cherise that sits and fights every day. We are working on the military veterans. Eugene, the man right here, Corwin Pierce, that's every day fighting for the plight of those people. Melissa, if I've not mentioned you, thank you for everything that you guys are doing. We really, Zenda, you're a miracle. So thank you to everybody that I've mentioned and much more. En moenie vir Tannie Deleen vergeet nie. Ons Solid Rock and Denise Siegel, one of our, in my mind, great patrons. So thank you for this time. I hope that we have spoken enough about small points. We can't always fix them where we are, but 2024 is our time. Ten minste sal jy iemand hê, nee, wat in daai stoel kan sit, wat vir hulle gaan moer. En die waarheid mense, die waarheid moet seëvier. The truth must always be number one. So thank you. God bless you this weekend. Onthou Heritage, braai die jal uit daai vleis uit as jy kan. En ons is lief vir julle. I am absolutely at the point to say that I love you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Remember, South Africa first, but God number one. Onthou, Suid-Afrika eerste, maar God nommer 1. Baie lekker dag vir julle. And I'll speak to you next week Friday. God bless. Here seën julle.